Hello, the topic for this video is dividing fractions and whole numbers. You're already familiar with dividing fractions, and we're going to add one step. First, write the whole number over 1. That's how we can write a whole number as a fraction. And then we're going to follow the same rules you already know for dividing fractions. So in this case, I'm going to take the whole number and write it over 1. And then, remember the rules for dividing fractions are keep, switch, flip. Keep the first fraction, switch to multiplying, flip the second fraction over. So put the whole number over 1, keep, switch, flip. Don't change the order. Whichever comes first stays as the first thing as you're rewriting your problem. The division order is very specific, so don't change that. And now, I could either multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom and end up with 15 over 10, or I can simplify first. 5 will divide by 5, and 10 will divide by 5. If you simplify first, then you won't have to simplify at the end, so it makes working with your fractions easier. And now when I multiply across the top, 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 2 is 2. This is an improper fraction. Your teacher may want you to leave it in this form so that they know that you've done your multiplication correctly, or they may want you to fix this and turn it into a mixed number. Ask so you know exactly what you're supposed to do. If you're not sure how to turn an improper fraction into a mixed number, please review that video. If the fraction comes first, our steps do not change. I'm going to put the whole number over 1 and then keep, switch, flip. Keep 1 over 9, switch to multiplying, flip the fraction over. Make sure you flip that second fraction. You can't change from dividing to multiplying just because it's easier. You can change because you flipped this fraction and you're using the reciprocal. Now we multiply straight across the top. 1 times 1 is 1, and straight across the bottom. 9 times 3 is 27. So our final answer is 1 over 27. Let's look at one more example so that you're not intimidated by dividing fractions and whole numbers. Just put the whole number over 1. Then follow the rules for dividing fractions. Keep, switch, flip. Keep 6 over 1, switch to multiplying, flip to the reciprocal 5 over 42. If you can, simplify now, and then you're not multiplying large numbers and trying to simplify later. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 42 divided by 6 is 7. If you're not comfortable with this skill, then work with flashcards or a multiplication chart and get the basic facts stuck in your head. It will make all of your simplifying easier and faster. And now we multiply across the top. 1 times 5 is 5, and at the bottom 1 times 7 is 7. This fraction is in simplest form, so this is our final answer. If you multiply first, always take a look at your final fraction and see if it can be simplified. Your fractions need to be in simplest form. Try these on your own. Keep the order as it is. Put the whole number over 1, keep, switch, flip. Pause the video, come back when you're ready to check your work. Let's see how you did. I've written out the work here so that you can compare your steps. For each of the whole numbers, just put them over 1. If they come first in the problem, then they'll come first in the division problem as you set it up. If they're second, leave them second. Don't change the order of your division. Once your whole number is over 1, then keep, switch, flip. So you can see that whichever fraction we started with, we've used the reciprocal. Flip the fraction over. And then in each case, I tried to simplify before I multiplied to make the numbers I was working with easier. If you end up with a whole number over 1, then your final answer is just that number by itself. 12 divided by 1 equals 12. And any number divided by 1 equals that number. So you can show this step to show your work, but this is the proper final answer. And in our third example, once we flipped, used the reciprocal, simplified the 3 and the 9, then our final answer was 1 over 24. If you're not sure about the steps, please watch this video again, or watch the video on dividing fractions and simplifying fractions. When you're dividing fractions and whole numbers, you only have one extra step. Write the whole number over 1. And then just follow the same rules you've been following for dividing fractions. There is no difference in the steps. Send your questions or comments through the Contact Us page on the website. Good luck.